guys, welcome back to my channel. So I'm gonna show you guys today how I get this blowout. If you're new here, my name is Armelis and this is my channel, so make sure you like and comment and subscribe and turn on those notifications and support your girl. For those of you that don't know, my hair is naturally curly, so that's what my hair actually looks like. Every so often I love straightening it and I do it myself. I've been doing it myself for over 10 years. I do it with a blow dryer, believe it or not. I know there's like a bunch of products on the market that are like roller brushes and Dyson and all that stuff, but I still use my good old blow dryer. So keep watching so you can learn how I prep my hair for the blowout, the techniques I use to make sure that my blowout lasts at least a week or more if possible, and some tips at the end so you know how to maintain it and how to make it last after you've already done the blowout. So here we go, let's get started. Okay, so first things first is you want to start with really wet hair, not like just damp, because if you are a natural curly girl, then you know that your hair has to be wet so that your curl doesn't have a time to like set in. I feel like with damp hair and stuff, it's just harder. And then you want to keep this spray bottle nearby because I blow dry my hair through sections. I use this spray bottle all throughout whenever I need to re-wet like a section and make sure that it's, again, really wet. When I'm gonna blow dry my hair, I make sure to start on a very clean, fresh scalp. So I shampoo twice in the shower and sometimes even a third time if I've been putting a lot of product on my hair that week. Right now I'm loving the Shea Moisture line Power Greens shampoo and Power Greens conditioner. It basically has moringa and avocado, and it's made with kale and matcha and green algae, and it's incredible. I posted about this on my Instagram once because the shampoo actually comes out a little watery, and even though the texture seems off, it's not. It's just the way it is, and a little goes a long way, and it creates a really good lather. It leaves my hair so soft. I absolutely love this combination. Shampoo 2 to 3 times, like I said, and then I condition only on my ends. Like I only condition kind of from here down, avoiding my roots. I basically just detangle in the shower while the conditioner is in my hair. And then I rinse the conditioner with cold water. You want to make sure that your conditioner is fully out. Just like to make sure that I cover all my bases and make sure that I'm not contributing to the oiliness. And I don't have naturally oily scalp, but just in general, when your hair is blown out after being curly and not doing it as often, it's kind of like you want to make sure that that blowout is lasting at least a week and that it looks good. Other thing I do in the shower to make sure that I got rid of all that excess buildup and just to stimulate my scalp and, you know, make it feel good when you're doing all those 2 to 3 shampoos that I do, is use this scalp massager, especially when I'm gonna blow dry it, again, just to get all that buildup out and just make sure your scalp is starting from like a clean slate. I use this scalp massager often and it's really great. So I like using this jojoba oil blend from Pattern, and it's really good. I think that's how you say it, jojoba. I don't know. The J is a H sound in Spanish, so that's how I'm gonna say it. Jojoba oil blend, moisture boost for hair and scalp. This is great. I love this product. I tend to use it on my ends. So when it's wet out of the shower, I just grab a drop or 2 and I rub it into my hands and I just put it on my ends. Then I use a heat protector. So this is very crucial, especially if you have curly hair. You want to make sure to protect your hair. So recently I bought this one from Living Proof. It's called Perfect Hair Day Heat Styling Spray. It protects up to 450 degrees Fahrenheit of heat. I just like putting a little bit on my ends, which I feel is where I blow, like where I put the most heat, because I like getting, you know, like a wave in my hair. So first, this is for volume. You want a nice round big brush, and this one I've had for quite some time. It's a wooden brush and it has really, you know, nice strong bristles, and it really grips my hair well. Smaller brush I love using for my edges. So this is what I use when I want to get in tight up here around my edges, and this is perfect because it like grips my hair really well. And lastly, before we fully get into this tutorial, is my blow dryer. Something else I also picked up at a local beauty supply shop, I think 7 years ago, I want to say. Holy grail right here, has held me down. It's the Turbo Pro 2000 ceramic technology. Again, I got it at a local beauty supply and it just works. It's honestly like salon quality. I think I paid $30, $40 for it. I'm not even sure. All right, and without further ado, let's blow dry this hair. I swear to God. So the first thing you want to do is divide your hair into sections. I start from the bottom. So you want to start with a smaller section for the bottom, just to make sure you're getting in on your roots. And the next thing I do is wet the hair. Of course, you want to make sure it's wet. So I grab my spray bottles and just wet it a little more. And then you want to start by gripping your hair really nice and tight. The most important thing about straightening your hair, I feel, is adding tension, because adding tension is going to keep you from using less heat. So I just keep it at a little bit of a distance and make sure to keep that tension nice and tight so that the hair can straighten mostly from the tension than the heat itself, if that makes sense. So then we're grabbing another section from the back and we're gonna wet it again. And same thing here, you're just gonna make sure to grip from the top, pull the brush down, add tension, and make sure you keep the blow dryer a little bit at a distance. Once you've done that and you feel like you have the top of your hair pretty much straight, then you can start going in on the ends. And I like to basically roll the brush all the way to the end, then roll it back up and keep doing that motion the whole time until the hair feels nice and curled at the bottom. Okay, so now that you kind of did the bottom of your hair, you want to start with the sides. For the side sections, you want to make sure you're using the smaller brush for this, and you want to grip the hair nice and tight against the brush and make sure you add tension, because that'll make the hair really nice and flat on your edges. Again, you want to keep the blow dryer at a little bit of a distance and just apply tension mostly. Then you can switch to the bigger brush and just continue to blow dry the rest of your hair, making sure to get to the ends and roll it up and make sure that you're curling those ends. You can do this either inward or outward. I like doing both. I kind of go inward on some sections and then I go outward in other sections. Here's how the hair should look. It should be kind of nice and flat on your roots, and then you want to move on to the other side and do the same thing. Now you're going to move to the back of your head, and you want to make sure you grab it in smaller sections because the back of your head is definitely a little harder. Wet the hair and make sure that it's nice and damp, and then you want to again apply tension and make sure that the hair is nice and laid in the roots. Feel free to use the brush in a different way here. I like grabbing the hair, as you can see, with the brush itself rather than with my hands, just to get like a nice grip and be able to still curl the ends. Continue working through the sides of your hair before you touch another back piece again, and I'll tell you why later. If you feel like the heat is a little too much, even though you're adding tension and keeping the blow dryer away, I like to tilt my head to the side just to have the heat kind of go downwards versus into your scalp. It's just another tip that I find helpful. The reason I like doing as much of the sides as I can is because you want to end up with this much hair in the middle left. I feel that when this part in the back is narrower, it's easier to blow dry because it's kind of like the width of the brush, right? So if you look at the brush, this is how you want it to be. And that's kind of a trick I do, because the thing is that this back part, you want to take your time with it, because this is the one that like gives you that volume in the back, you know, and you want to make sure it looks nice. It's the back of your head, it's harder to do, you know, etc. So I like to keep the rest of the hair pinned back as well so that I can just focus on this part. With this back section of your hair, you want to make sure you're blow drying upwards to get that volume, and you can blow dry from behind the hair and basically keep going upwards, and then make sure to also blow dry the ends towards you inwards so that it can then face upward when you push it back. So I always blow dry these sections nice and upward so that you can get a good bounce. Working your way to the front of your hair, grab another section, make sure to split as many sections as you can so that you can give attention to each piece individually and make sure that they come out very nicely, since they're the ones in front of your face, as I said. So for these pieces, I decided to blow dry upwards because these are the ones that are gonna fall on my face. So roll the brush in an upward motion and make sure to get that nice and curled. Okay, so this is kind of my favorite part because I just love kind of playing with the hair here. I just like playing with it so that it takes form. So I do that. I love how I'm talking with this piece of hair in front of me. Anyway, and then like you bring it back like this and you give it a little shake, and when you let it fall, I don't know why that just hits for me. Like seeing that little volume up here, and it's just doing what it needs to do. So now we're gonna do the same thing, but with this section, the last little piece right here. Okay, so this is the last section and probably the most important one. You want to take your time here, make sure to add tension, get really close to the edge of your hair, and blow dry from the front of the hair and also behind the section, just to make sure that your edges are laid really, really flat. These are the pieces that are going to frame your face, so you want to take your time here, make sure that it comes out really, really nice. Why does that hit? Why does that just hit? Like, what? You see this bounce in the front? Okay. Let's use the spray that I was talking about. So let's see what this spray is giving as a finishing spray. Let's see what it does. So I think I'm gonna put my hair upside down. All right. I don't want to do too much because I know my hair gets. I like the spray. I think it just added a little more body, which is nice. So let's talk about maintenance. Let's talk about how to maintain the blowout throughout the week or however many days you want it to last. I used to just sleep with my hair down after I did the blowout, and I found that it makes my scalp a little oilier throughout the week. So what I like to do is put my hair all the way up. Once you have all your hair collected right here, what I like to do, sometimes either you can twirl it in the bun like I said, or I sometimes like to just scoop it up. Like if you're gonna do a little, we call it anchoita, but just like a little curler thing. And sometimes I just do this, right? And insert two of these clips, or if you have bigger ones, and just kind of insert them right here. And then you can tie your scarf and just sleep like this. So, you know, don't do too much. Let it kind of just sit there, you know. It looked real funny, but seriously, like once you take this down, you know, like it kind of maintains that like bounce situation. And then once you, ooh, you know what I mean? In the morning, because it's been up the whole time, it'll just kind of, I don't know, it just maintains the volume. I find that it keeps your hair a little more bouncier. And my last tip for maintenance is don't touch your hair too much. Okay, like I know how hard it is. Like when your hair feels good, you just want to like run your hands through it and like touch it all the time, but our hands also produce oil. So the last thing you want to do is add to that. I make sure that if I'm going to touch my hair, I'm touching my ends basically, because I love like twirling them and playing with them. But I try to keep my hands away from my scalp, especially if you've like not recently washed your hands. So like if oil is already built up in your hands from the day or from, you know, cooking or whatever it is that you're doing. I mean, even from eating. My mom used to tell me that all the time when I used to get out of the salon. I used to be so in love with my hair, and I used to just be like touching it and touching it. And she would always say, no te toque tanto el cabello. But I understand now, and she explained it to me later on. Like, you know, it's just, it makes it greasier. Like, just don't touch it too much. Just try to keep your hands away from your scalp, I guess. All right, guys, and we've come to the end of this video. I hope you guys enjoyed this little mini tutorial on how I blow dry my hair. Make sure to like this video and make sure to subscribe if you're not. And I'll see you guys on the next video. Bye.